Hey folks, today I am doing a review on a pen display tablet from XP Pen. This model is called the Artist 16 Pro, not to be confused with the older model Artist 16, which looks nearly identical. I will explain the difference here in a bit. I did purchase this device. I've been in the market for an upgrade from my Intuos 5. I did use a Wacom Cintiq throughout college and I really enjoyed it. But Wacom products are well out of my price range, and I've been wanting to distance myself from their products due to build quality concerns. The current retail price for the Artist 16 Pro on Amazon is $460 US. So let's go over what you get in the box. So you have the tablet, of course, all your warranty stuff and the quick guide. You get a thank you card. I always love seeing thank you cards from anyone I buy from. It's a really small gesture that goes a long way. There's a cleaning cloth, the power adapter and the power cord, the USB cable, the HDMI cable, a pen holder. This has your pen, extra pen nibs on one side, and then it also doubles as a pen stand, which can be unscrewed on the other side. The holder comes in a soft little bag tailored to its size. I think it's really cute. I love this primarily because with my Intuos, I had to stuff my pen in the stand in a pocket somewhere to keep them together. But this lets you carry your tools around in one container. You get a second pen as a gift, which is really lovely since these pens are battery powered, so you can have one charging while the other one is in use. There's an HDMI adapter for the mini display port. I didn't need this, but if it's something that your machine needs, this is a really lovely addition to the package. I did see from previous reviews that this item did not come with the box beforehand, so it's really thoughtful of them to add it in. There's the pen charger cords. There are two, one for each pen. An additional USB cable. One did work better than the other, so it's really nice to have two for situations like that. And then last but not least, an artist glove. Now on to the tablet itself. So I chose this tablet because I'm a bit spoiled in that I have a 4K laptop with 100% Adobe RGB, so I'm used to a huge and vibrant color range. I specifically needed a pen display whose color displays could compare to that. Being a concept artist, color is really important to me. I did trial a couple of other devices prior to this one, but the colors were too washed out, and I hated that I had to constantly check my laptop for the color accuracy, which kind of defeats the purpose of the pen display. So what makes this tablet a pro? The answer is really in the screen. Unlike other models and companies whose color capacity is around 75% RGB, this tablet sports 92%, which is only 2% away from the Cintiq Pro by Wacom, by the way. And it costs $1,000 less. There is a subtle difference between the colors of this tablet and my laptop, but it's a difference that really doesn't bother me, especially after looking for a device that can compare to it. So I'm really excited that I finally found one. This model has 8 express keys located on the left side. If you are a lefty, you can flip the tablet and then simply adjust the screen rotation in the driver settings. You access the driver settings via the first express key. You can finagle the colors to meet your machine needs using the buttons tucked nicely on the side. The colors are quite lovely out of the box, but I was able to get them looking much better after messing with the settings. In addition, this tablet can support 4K, which was a fairly important thing to me that I did not really consider until after I discovered this tablet. There's no sign of weakness from pushing on the device when the stand is up. I did not feel any heat coming from anywhere on the tablet. Usually these screens, primarily on big computers like Macintosh, when you feel the top part of the device, it's usually pretty warm. The stand itself is very easy to use. There's a lever on the back that you pull up on, and you can adjust the angle to really any setting that you need. All the cords come out of the side, which is really fantastic, so there's no stressing on the cords when you bend the stand, which means you won't have to replace any sooner than you should. I did notice that there isn't a rubber support on the bottom of the tablet underneath the logo when you activate the stand, lack of a better term. And some people get concerned about that because of sliding. I didn't really worry about this very much just because I have my setup on boxes, so there's not a whole lot of sliding room. But if you are concerned about this, then you can easily just go buy some of those sticky strips, or you can put a cloth underneath it if you're really worried. Another part of what differs the Artist 16 Pro from the standard is that this one has 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity. Some folks don't notice, some folks notice. I really noticed it. I think I actually prefer 2048 levels of sensitivity just because I'm a light sketcher and I have to apply more pressure just to get a soft line to show up on this one. One thing that I really like about this though is that when going from thick to thin lines, there is no shoestring effect, which I found on previous tablets I trialed. It transitions smoothly from the different levels. On the flip side though, when I try to draw softly, I noticed a dotting effect going on with the thin lines. This became more prominent when using larger brushes and trying to draw softly. This can be avoided by either using the appropriate size brush for the thickness of line you're looking for, or by pushing down a bit more with a larger brush to prevent that dotting effect. In a weird way, I almost like that dot effect with the thinner brushes because my style depends on a natural and painterly look. So that grit is kind of nice at times. Otherwise, it can be a little bit frustrating, but not too much. I think it's mostly a matter of me learning how to get used to the pressure levels of this new device. With line art, I was able to create smooth and consistent lines, which is often hard to accomplish with bigger screens, but this was not a problem. With this tablet, I was also really enjoying the sense of control with the connectedness of a pen display, which is another reason why I wanted to buy one. A few things to note about this device that may or may not be deal breakers. This device does not support tilt as far as I'm aware. I don't know if it's a pen thing or a driver thing, but I've personally never used it, so to me it's not that big of a deal. Because the pens for this device are battery powered, there is no eraser nub on the butt of the pen. Instead, it's the charger port. I've never used my Intuos's eraser feature just because I've got 8 years of hotkeys ingrained in my muscle memory. There is a matte glare protector that is applied to the screen of the device upon assembly, so you get it attached right out of the box. This is something that can be removed, and here are the pros and cons of that protector. It is 50% glare resistant, so when you're using it, there really is no glare. It is removable, so you can decide whether you would like to draw on it or not. Just a thing to note, once you do remove it though, you cannot reapply it unless if you live in a place where dust does not exist. Replacements are fairly inexpensive, and you can usually get 2 in a pack. Because of the nature of the finish, it does tend to be easy to scratch, but if you like it, you can always replace it after a while. While I was using mine, it didn't really scratch. I pretty much removed mine right after I opened it. I tend to like smooth surfaces more. And you don't have to worry about the screens getting scratched because it's not something that can be easily scratched unless if you're actually trying to scratch it with a sharp object. Does create a bit of a wobble in the pen due to the toothiness of the finish. It also muddles the colors as per most screen protectors, and it blurs your screen a fair amount. After peeling it away, I discovered the beautiful crystal clear screen underneath, and really after that, I don't think I'm going to go back to a matte screen protector or any protector, to be honest. Pros and cons of the device. Pros, it comes with a crap ton of goodies. It's fantastic. I love it. A lot of other brands, especially the big name brands, you have to buy the accessories separately from the main product. The colors are wonderful and adjustable. This probably has the best screen out there aside from Wacom Cintiq Pro, which has 94%. And that's really not that far away since this one has 92%. The build quality is fantastic, no signs of overheating or heating at all for that matter. It is lightweight, sleek design of the tablet, and then it has sturdy pens. It actually looks like a mimic of Wacom Cintiq's as well as the pen. It's kind of nice actually if you're transitioning from Wacom to a different brand. The stand is strong and trustworthy. The device itself is a cozy size. It's not too small where you lose space because of the UI from your software. A reason why I got the 16 Pro. But it's not too big that prevents it from being portable. They didn't really market this as being portable, more so a permanent desktop item, but I'm probably going to be that person who'd be carrying it around in my lap. The stand is removable. If you wish, you'd have to unscrew it yourself. The matte screen protector is applied on assembly, but then it also can be removed and replaced. It supports 4K very well. You can also change it to other aspect ratios. It has a wide range of pressure levels, and then they're also adjustable to your needs in the driver settings. Smooth transitions between the levels, and then it also has a really wide viewing angle, so you can see it at different angles without the colors getting all muddled. It has express keys. Some people cannot live without them, and them not being there is often a deal breaker. This is the first time I've ever had express keys, so I'm definitely practicing on using them more, but so far I've been heavily reliant on just on the hotkeys. This device can also be flipped 180 degrees for lefties. There really isn't any lag unless if you deliberately try to bog it down. Easy setup, although I was a little slow with figuring it out due to being used to other softwares. When this goes for really anything that requires installing a driver, do not use the discs to install a driver regardless of where you get it from, unless if the disc is the only thing you've got, because the online versions are always the newest. It has minimal parallax. If you don't know what parallax is, it's the distance between the cursor and the pen nib, which creates a bit of offset. There really wasn't any, and even if there is some, I can't really detect it, and you get used to the shift pretty quickly. I did notice parallax around the very edge of the screen on all of the sides, but I really don't select anything around the edges anyway. I did see the X Pen fixed a common issue where the cursor would jump around the corners when you navigated there with your pen, so that didn't occur for me when I first got this tablet going, which is great. The cons are really mostly minor complaints, but not anything that would be a deal breaker for me personally. The colors do have a slight shift. They're slightly different from my 4K screen, but that's to be expected. But this is really as good as it's going to get, and this is fantastic, really. The wide range of pressure can be difficult for light sketchers since it takes a little bit more pressure to get a stroke on the canvas, but the levels can be adjusted to suit you as well as it can. It does not support tilt as far as I'm aware. That's not really a deal breaker for myself. The pens lack the eraser, not a deal breaker for me either. The dotting effect when drawing lightly, it takes more pressure for a line to show up on the canvas, as I mentioned, and then there is a slight wobble, but only when you look for it. If you draw fast, then it's really, really not noticeable. It's not even there. And then there's a slight parallax around the edges. So for only costing $460, this is a phenomenal product. I would strongly recommend this to fellow professionals, beginners, and everyone in between. This works well for anyone like me who has specific color requirements and display requirements. Great work, XP Pen. I'm definitely going to keep using this tablet, and I really look forward to your future products. Thanks, guys.